high school, I definitely felt a lot of like pressure about my grades, like from my teachers and from my parents, and that definitely transferred over into college, even though I was the one putting the pressure on myself. So there was definitely a lot of anxiety with like if I wasn't getting an A, like I was down on myself. And I saw that within my friend group as well, like people having like anxiety attacks and during finals week and stuff like that, when like they were the ones putting the pressure on themselves. And then also during especially the first semester of freshman year, I've struggled with balancing my time because like it's so important to like make new connections and like join this club and do this extracurricular. And I was so wrapped up in that that I kind of forgot to just like focus on myself. So those are definitely the main two things that caused me anxiety and like struggles with mental health.
So I was diagnosed with an anxiety disorder when I was 16 and also experienced clinical depression all throughout middle and early high school. And often I felt like school and academics was the only place I could sort of exert control or influence over my life. I, had always pushed myself to do as well in school as I could. And that was something I took with me to college for sure. And I think as like a first generation college student, the first in my family to attend a 4-year institution, I felt so much pressure to do well and to perform to expectations that my family had, my culture had, everything like that. And I think for me, I realized my mental health was doing poor when I started to have kind of a resurgence of the issues that I experienced so long ago. I remember posting on my Instagram and I just said something like, it feels like my depression is coming back for the first time. And I don't know, that was so sobering for me because it was like, that was probably the scariest time of my life. And to then have that kind of come back and sort of take a really active and present role in my life was a lot to carry and a lot to deal with, especially when I still had academic obligations. And I think another moment that I like really realized my mental health was kind of going through it was when I was so stressed that I started to get I don't even know how I would describe it, just like physical, like I started to feel like physical ramifications of the stress that I was experiencing. And that included feeling nauseous all the time. I remember going to the doctor and was just like, I feel sick, but I don't know like what to do. And she was like, oh, you're probably just like really, really stressed. And I don't know, that was like kind of scary to deal with as well, because I didn't, for the longest time, I hadn't experienced that. And I also just like didn't realize how intensely your mental health could affect your physical health as well.
Definitely rely a lot on my friends when I need support. I think like being with my friends and like my roommates like all day, every day, like allowed me to get super close with people I didn't know at first really fast. And because like a lot of people in college are kind of like going through the same thing, I definitely felt like seen and like we could have conversations like kind of about the same thing. And like especially my roommate, she like saw me at my best and at my worst, so I knew that she wouldn't judge me if I like needed to talk to her about something that was going on. And alongside my friends, I go to school like 7 hours away from home, but I still like utilized calling my mom. Like I definitely called my mom like every day, whether I needed to just like talk about school or if something was going wrong. I still used that like family lifeline even though I was far away.
I completely relate to that. I turn to my friends quite often because I don't have any family near my school. I think I live like 3,000 miles away from them. So I really had no other opportunity to get the support that I needed than by just connecting with the people around me. So I like to say that I found sort of a chosen family at my school, and they've been incredibly supportive of everything that I've been going through. And I was also definitely leveraging some of the mental health resources that my school offered. We have a lot of partnerships with online telehealth, therapy services and things like that, which really helped me kind of navigate those initial steps to supporting my mental health.
I would definitely say like don't be afraid to reach out if you think your problems or like what you're going through is too small. Like it's not. I know like when I was struggling, if I'm like, oh, like my grades are bad or like I miss my family, I'm homesick, but like that's not a big enough issue. Like no matter what you're feeling, like I'm sure there are plenty of other people feeling that way. And even if there aren't, like it doesn't minimize what you're dealing with. and just don't be hard on yourself because like what you're going through in like a new environment is completely normal.
I would say you're experiencing college for like the first time in your life, and there's really no guidebook for that. I know there's like a lot of like tips and tricks online, but you really have to live through it with experience. And yeah, I agree. I mean, I think it's so powerful to let other people know how you're feeling if you're in a space where you're safe and able to do that. And I think there is just so much power in vulnerability and asking for help. Letting someone know that something is going wrong and then asking them to help you find support are such invaluable tools that you can use throughout your life.